Today, we're going to build Slave 1 using 19 Lego pieces. These are all the pieces you are going to need. In the description of this video, I left the piece names, count, and design IDs. We're going to start with 2 of these 2x3 plates with the holes, and we're going to put them together like this. And to hold them together, we're going to get a 2x2 jumper plate. And you put that 2x2 jumper plate right in the center over that seam, so basically it's over the back 2 studs on this one and the back 2 studs on this one, and you've got that rounded bottom of Slave 1. And now in the front here, which will be, or the lower part of our Slave 1, we're going to kind of round it out. And to round it out, we're going to get these kind of pie-shaped pieces, and we're going to put the pie-shaped pieces on the front so they kind of curve and go towards the center to round off our Slave 1's kind of base. And once we get those on, and I always find these things to kind of turn around, make sure the flat parts are here and it curves. We're going to put 2 1x2 tooth pieces on these other 2 studs that are exposed at the top of our ship. And these are going to be the wings of Slave 1. These tooth pieces, these 1x1 plates with tooth, are going to be our wings to Slave 1. And now on top of those tooth pieces, we're going to get a 1x2 jumper plate in sand green. And the reason I'm doing sand green is because if you look at the Slave 1, you'll kind of notice those kind of rounded circles or bubbles over the wings. They're in a sand green color. So I'm going to do that to create that bubble effect of Slave 1. And now I've got my 2x2 jumper plate here. On top of that 2x2 jumper plate, I'm going to get a 1x2 plate. And you've got that anti-stud in the middle of our 1x2 plate. Well, I'm going to put that into my jumper plate like this. And we're kind of extending out our Slave 1 and building it up. And now next what we're going to do is get a 1x1 plate. And that 1x1 plate is going to go on that back stud of the 1x2 gray piece and put it right there to kind of lift it up. And the reason we're doing that is because my next piece is going to be a 1x4 plate. And when I was designing this, a 1x6 was just too long, and 1x5 just aren't really don't exist. They kind of go from 1.4 from a 4 stud to a 6 stud, not a 5, or if they do, it's very rare. So what I'm doing to create a 5 long stud is I've got that 1x1 plate and now a 1x4 plate, and I'm going to put it on that top stud of our 1x2 plate and have it kind of extend past that bottom of Slave 1. I think that's a really good length. Now on top of that, I want to smooth this out a bit. And to smooth it out, I'm going to get a 1x2 tile piece. And I'll put that 1x2 tile piece between that 1x1 plate and the 1x4 plate, and it also makes a stronger connection by putting those 2 pieces together. And now if you look at Slave 1, it's not a nice, neat, clean ship. This is a bounty hunter. He gets this dirty, gets in a lot of scruffs and fights, and so the paint job's kind of all mismatched from different encounters. So what I'm going to do is do a 1x1 tile piece in this light, this sand green color, and put it right there in the middle like this to kind of create that patchwork paint job that we have. And now we've got 2 studs left. On the next stud, I'm going to get a 1x1 tile piece in light bluish gray and snap it on right here. And I've got this bottom stud left. For that, I'm grabbing a 1x1 plate with, or tile with clip on top to create those guns at the bottom of Slave 1's ship. And I really love this effect to kind of give it the cannons underneath. And yes, they should be on the side, but I think in micro scale that effect really works well. And now that we've got kind of the body of Slave 1 completed, all we have to do is the cockpit. And the cockpit's going to go right here. But to create that, we're going to do this separately. We're going to get a 2x1 slope with no studs. And on the indented part here, I'm going to get a 1x1 plate and put it right there into that little notch to even it out and make it more smooth. And the reason I'm doing that is because now when it fits here, it's going to be nice and smooth on top. But I still have to have it kind of extend down a bit. And to do that, I'm going to make the cockpit a little darker and bigger. So what I'm going to do is a 1x1 plate and put it on the bottom of that black part that's still exposed to my 2x1 slope. And we're kind of extending that tinted cockpit canopy of Slave 1. And then underneath that 1x1 plate in black, I'm going to do the same thing on 1x1 plate with light bluish gray and put it right underneath like this. And now I've kind of got this piece ready to put onto my main model. And when I click it into place with that little gap part here, you can see how it is a nice flush fit on the bottom. And here we have a completed Slave 1 for Boba Fett to fly around the galaxy and looking for his bounties. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.